If you like true crime, this video is for you. Perez Hilton here, and as I told you earlier, convicted schmurderer turned reality TV star and social media influencer Gypsy Rose Blanchard is expecting her first child and delivering a memoir. And I've got my hands on an excerpt from Gypsy Rose's new autobiography. Let's get into this. One of the most interesting parts of the book is her opening up about Dee Dee, her late mother, whom she arranged to have offed. Gypsy Rose was released after serving 8 of a 10-year sentence and has a lot to say about mommy Dee Dee. Gypsy Rose alleges, quote, "1 month before the murder, my mother tried to cut my throat." Maybe not literally, but maybe literally. Depends on if you agree with her assessment. 1 month before the murder, my mother tried to cut my throat. At least that's how I saw it. The cause of concern suddenly was my voice. "It's so high-pitched. It's so squeaky," my mother complained to my ear, nose, and throat specialist. I thought my voice was distinct, like my uncommon name. Or maybe it was a family trait to be proud of. We both knew women on my mother's side of the family with similar high-pitched voices. But on my way home, I went on and on like, well, a squeaky wheel. "There's nothing wrong with my voice," I said with a whimper as she pushed me in my portable wheelchair to the parking lot where our car was parked outside the hospital in downtown Kansas City. "You heard the doctor. That voice of yours might mean there's a problem with your larynx, and that problem could be causing your sleep apnea," she said, her final word. No matter my sassing, we were going to go ahead and meet with the pulmonologist the ENT had just recommended, though we both knew very well I didn't have sleep apnea. At the time, Gypsy Rose was 23 years old, and she knew what her mother was doing to her. She also had been trying to get loose from her mother's grip. Gypsy Rose's ghostwriter says, "By this point, the entire ruse had been between us for a while. I was 23 and had tried to run away twice. I'd shot her with a BB gun. She'd chained me to the bed." Okay, that's real bad. "I was getting older and much harder to control. The older I got, the more physical and harsher her punishments became. She stopped letting me use my custom-made Jazzy HD power wheelchair because she couldn't control it. I sensed she was becoming more erratic, more desperate." Ooh, Gypsy Rose claims that her mother, quote, "muzzled my mouth shut at nighttime with a CPAP machine for my fake sleep apnea, and even numbed my mouth with Oragel so I'd drool and slur, which was in turn responsible for her teeth falling out." She writes, "By speaking for me and scripting every interaction, she deprived me of finding my own voice. Now, the way I saw it, my literal voice, squeaky as it might be, could be taken from me." Her final play. So they see the pulmonologist and, according to her, quote, "When the pulmonologist spoke to my mother, it was as if I wasn't in the room. Why don't we do an exploratory surgery of her larynx?" he suggested. "A simple operation of the voice box will get to the bottom of any respiratory or vocal abnormalities." What I heard was, "Let's cut Gypsy's throat for no reason at all." I'd had previous surgeries on my neck, and the scars brutalized me. But there was something about this particular surgery that felt more threatening than the others. Even more so than all the other body parts that had been constantly searched, explored against my will, without my consent. I turned to my mother. That sounds like it hurts. I don't want it. I don't want to do it. Tears didn't form. Rage did. My mother put her arm around my shoulder and pressed me close, a signal to quiet down that had been programmed long ago. It's simple, baby. It's painless. It will help, she said, side-eyeing the doctor. What I heard was, I don't care what you want. The doctor assured me there was little risk. He kneeled down to my eye level and spoke slowly to me, like English wasn't my native language. Who could blame him? He thought I had the mind of a 7-year-old, except my trapped adult brain suddenly felt the urgency to avoid this surgery at all costs. And spoiler alert, we know what happens next. Not funny, but hello, I'm trying to make an entertaining video and this is heavy, so might as well bring some light to this darkness. Thoughts on what Gypsy has shared? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments section.